Geographical restrictions aside, which is the better mid-range phone, the Pixel 5a or the OnePlus Nord 2? Well, let's find out. So we have the Google Pixel 5a with the Snapdragon 765G on the left-hand side. We have the OnePlus Nord 2 with the MediaTek Dimensity 1200 on the right-hand side. Now these are very different processors, different CPUs, different GPUs, and on paper we'd expect the Dimensity 1200 to win, but will that translate into a real-world victory? Well, already we can see that the Nord 2 is in the lead. It's into the compression test ahead of the Google Pixel 5a, which is only now going into the compression test. So that's a bit of a lead already being built up quite early in the test. It's now into the 16 thread test, so this could be a strong indication that actually the Nord 2 will win convincingly, as we would expect according to the paper specs, and it seems to be coming out into real life. Here we are, it's already into the blur test, the beginning of the mixed CPU GPU part of the test, while now the Pixel 5a with the Snapdragon 765G is into the 16 thread test. So this is going to be an interesting battle right through to the end. Will there be a difference in the GPU? Well, let's have a look now what we're getting on the right hand side for the smoke particle test. 28 frames a second. Let's remember that number when we see the smoke particle test on the left hand side. So what is happening now is we're into the 3D test on the right hand side and only now entering into the blur test on the left hand side. So really a convincing lead by the Nord 2, and it doesn't seem to be struggling with the 3D test at all. It does not seem to be struggling, so there's not really going to be much room for the Pixel 5a to catch up at this point, as we're now into the second test there. What's the frame rate on the left hand side going to be? It was 2819. Well, that's a good showing by the Pixel 5a, but I think too late. I don't think it's going to make enough difference. There we go. It's already come to the end on the Nord 2 right hand side, 1 minute 27.2, as the Pixel 5a is now into the first of the two 3D tests. And it's worth mentioning at this point the difference between these two processors. Of course, the 765G has got 2 Cortex A76 cores and 6 Cortex A55 cores, so 2 high performance cores, whereas the Nord 2 has got 4 Cortex A78 cores, so it's got 4 cores compared to 2, and it's 2 generations newer, and then 4 power efficiency cores. And we're now into the second and last 3D test there, and of course we've got the Adreno 620 versus the Mali G77, and the Mali G77 seemed to do quite well through those tests. They didn't seem to have much of a problem. So what are we going to get here now? We get to the end of this path. What's the final time going to be? And we'll break down the scores and see really was there much of a difference, or was it just generally slower all round? Here we go now. What's it going to be? Coming up to the final second now, 2 minutes something, 2 minutes 18.5. Okay, let's break down the scores and see exactly what happened. So a convincing win there by the OnePlus Nord 2, 1 minute 27.2, and then 51.3 seconds later came in the Google Pixel 5a, 2 minutes 18.5. Well, what happened there? Well, CPU 54.5 versus 34.5. That's a difference of 20 seconds. That's the difference there between 2 Cortex A76 cores and 4 Cortex A78 cores. So really the Nord 2 had a huge advantage there, and that's reflected in the time. Mixed CPU GPU, we did see a good 2D frame rate there from the Google Pixel 5a, 29.3 versus 20 seconds on the dot. Still a win though for the OnePlus Nord 2 by 9.3 seconds. And then the same story in the GPU, 54.6 versus 32.6, a difference of 22 seconds, again in favor of the OnePlus Nord. So wins across all 3 categories meant that the OnePlus Nord 2 won with 1 minute 27.2. My name is Gary Sims, this is SpeedTest G. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. And hey, if you like these videos, stick around by subscribing to the channel. Okay, that's it. I'll see you in the next one.